Any questions here? Final practice. Go ahead. Yeah, and I think George would be the better one to ask, but I think that's been all finalized. So I don't want to be the one to announce it, but that's the impression I get right now.
If in fact it is accurate, at least you got some assets. Is that
Yeah,
possible?
I think so. And you always try to do that. I said that the other day. It's pretty common.
Sean, the packet yesterday had a 15-minute press conference, asked a lot of Denver questions. One of them was about you. And
Yeah. I respectfully, I feel like I've addressed it. Robert did a great job of talking about, here's the thing. We got two teams focused on getting their second win. And I think that's where our focus has been.
In that regard, how important is it to be going at home?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think it's I just finished talking about it like 2 minutes ago. We have a great home field advantage. We got a great fan base, and we got to give them something to get excited about, and then take advantage of the noise.
What makes South Florida so difficult to deal with?
Well, I would say I'm not making the comparison, but I'm going to give you traits that Pat has that they're long. All right, so they transition well. They can run. They've got good instincts. And so, when those guys press and take away certain routes, and then those 50-50 balls become like 70-30, they're just harder because of the length and the athleticism. And I think that's the thing you see, a confident player on tape, for him to come in his first year and play like he did, that's hard to do.
Having Pat on defense, does it help your offense prepare?
Yeah, when you're used to seeing, absolutely. And then we kind of cover all the things in the game plan relative to when, where's he at. Typically he's to our right, but not always. And all of that goes into it.
How big a booster do you get, all or most of these vets with the defensive players back?
Well, anytime you're getting healthy in certain positions, it helps. And so it's there's a little bit of, each time there's one player, you get a little stronger in that group. So, we look forward to those guys. And there's, in the next couple weeks, we feel like there'll be a group coming back.
John, there's lots to be encouraged about the offense for the first 4 weeks. But one thing is that opening third quarter drive, you guys haven't quite been able to solve yet after halftime.
Maybe we should script that like our first drive. Fair question. We just talked about the operation, and sometimes, you get stopped, and then sometimes you stop yourself. And I think that's one thing, either via penalties or, mistakes that we call unforced errors. We've got to be better in that area.
you guys used to talk about a mini script in the second half. Have you ever done
Well, yeah, and look, it's 8 minutes. I've said this before, you come in, you pee, you go through, you're talking all the time. You kind of create that. It's a fair question. But, I've got that play chart. There's black dots on it. And then at halftime, I got yellow highlighter that's bringing me to these plays. The Super Bowl is 35 minutes. We put together a whole new set of openers with a printer on an overhead. Guys change their uniform. But this happens quick. We talk about here's what's coming. And then, I kind of put the order together. But I get it.
What do you think about the way that Jaquan McMillan played in the slot last weekend?
Yeah, I think pretty well. Look, he's got good instincts, and he's someone that moves well. I think collectively, operation, offense, communication, defense, those areas I think we need to improve on. And so, but I think he's handled it well.
Marvin bounced back from the fumble and got a return to the big catch. That resilience, big picture, is that part of
Yeah, you were gracious calling it a fumble. I think it hit him like dead in the helmet, like Charlie Brown, and went in the air. Listen, he's doing well. I'm encouraged. I know he's a rookie, but sometimes you get a guy that's more mature and understands. All the nuances of the game. He's one of those guys.
Did you learn something about him when he bounces back?
Yeah, absolutely. And we felt when we drafted him that, here was a guy that was a leader. He was a guy that, aside from his skill set you see on the field, he had these other traits that There's an element of grit that you need in this league.
Regardless of all the other Hackett stuff, some of the players said this week that defensive players, it might help them going against Hackett's offense because it's familiar with what they saw in practice.
Yeah,
Does it help at all?
it's a fair question. A lot of times, when things come up about, oh, you signed a practice squad player off the other team, is he going to know the playbook and all that? There's so much film, and you study the 2x2 sets, the 3x1 sets, the pro sets. You defend certain plays. I think you're really, paying close attention because, look, if you're just studying New Orleans film because I'm here now, there's a lot of things we're doing a little differently because we're built differently. And so, it doesn't hurt, but I don't know. I think you really spend a lot of time on what you're seeing on tape.
Does Russ have something about the way he marks his cadence that makes your guys jump?
No, I don't think so. I think and it starts with me, we got to look at, the amount, and we talked about it this week, the amount of cadences, because look, you have a quick count, you have a later hard count, then you have your normal count, then there's more then you're on the road, you have, your silent 1, your silent 2, and so very quickly you count up 6 or 7 cadences, and then, it's getting good with those. So, we continue to work on that. It was better this week. I mean, we had the clock out. We had everything going. Guys were better.
It's obviously it's a one game at a time, but with Thursday night, how do you attack this weekend?
Nothing changes for this game relative to Thursday's like a year away. And the minute this game's over, recovery mode, obviously your week is much different, with the Thursday game. But nothing changes this week that relative to this game.
How do you look at your depth at running back with Javonte Williams limited this week?
Yeah, look, we feel fortunate. Obviously we like how the young players playing. And Samaje, when we signed him, so Washington's played for me, and all these guys will be ready.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you guys.